Hey everybody, Brian back with you at Strong Tower, and I'm excited to do another Neuro Fit session with you. Today our focus is going to be some skipping, some strength training, and some stamina work. So all those amazing things, along with I want to give you some more comprehensive ways to train your visual and vestibular system. So if you're somebody that's been dealing with tension in the head and the neck, or your visual skills aren't quite where you know they could be or you want them to be, I'm going to give you kind of a comprehensive, just broad overview of how to train those areas. So these are the vestibular and visual things, drills that you could do every day. Set aside maybe 5-10 minutes of your day and you can walk through them. I'm going to incorporate them or kind of flow them into the movement stuff, so that you don't get bored or overwhelmed with just vision and vestibular training today. But just a side note, that could be useful to a lot of people. Some people have asked specifically for that. How do I train my visual system? What are all the different drills that I can do? I'm going to give you a lot today. I'm not going to give you every single drill because it would take too long. But that being said, this is also a very general shotgun approach, so I am going to say that. This is not specifically assessing you individually and saying, hey, maybe you need more stimulus to your left saccule, or maybe you need more stimulus to your right horizontal canal. And those things only come about by working one-on-one with a coach who can assess and then help you just have some more specific direction into maybe for the next few weeks we want to work on these specific areas and do more repetitions with a higher intensity just to that side to help correct some imbalances. So this is not to correct imbalances, and I'm not claiming that it's going to work perfectly for everybody, so I just wanted to preface with that. It's kind of, again, a broad overview. It's comprehensive and more of a shotgun integrated approach. This is where we eventually want people to get to. So my dream for everyone in your vestibular system, your visual system, is that we're activating all the different areas and the different muscles that we can. Just like in your body, that's going to maximize your health, and that's the end goal. That's where I would want people to get. But again, I'm not saying that this is going to fix problems or fix imbalances, which may be existing if we haven't assessed. We're just kind of guessing. So hopefully that makes sense to you. I'm going to give you a lot of vision vestibular stuff that can be super useful, and this would be the eventual goal for everyone, to get to a point where we're just doing integrated training, keeping all the different areas of the vestibular system and the visual system healthy, because if we do that, there's a direct impact on a lot of different brain areas: balance, cognition, your visual cortex, your occipital lobe, your temporal lobe, your parietal lobe. So a lot of different brain areas are involved in training vision and vestibular. That's why we do it, because if the command center runs better, your body's going to run better. All right, so we're going to go ahead and warm up. I'm going to have you guys get your heart rate up kind of right away today. So what you'll need is 2 pens, 2 kettlebells if you have them. If you only have 1 kettlebell, that's fine. But we're going to start with some skipping. I'm going to skip across the mat here, so if you have some free space and you can skip back and forth a little bit with me, fantastic. If not, you can work on skipping in place. Okay, so we're going to start with about 20 seconds or so of skipping. I'm going to walk back and skip forward. You're welcome to join me in that if you have space. Otherwise, just keep skipping in place. Great job. Good. We're going maybe 50% intensity here, so just kind of warming it up. Great way to get your heart rate up. Start to work on some coordination with the skips. From there, we're going to do a farmer carry. So if you have 1 kettlebell, hold that on one side. If you are having like current aches and pains on one side of the body, hold the kettlebell on the opposite side. That sometimes can help our cortex, and then our brainstem on the side that you're having aches and pains. Sometimes inhibit pain a little bit better. If you have 2 kettlebells, awesome, pick them up, and we're going to go for a walk. So go ahead and we're going to farmer carry. You can go forward, just create a little bit of a circle for yourself, or if you're comfortable and you have clear space, you can go ahead and go backwards as well. One great thing you can do for your vestibular system, since we're talking about it in this session, is backwards walking. It's one of the organs, your otolith organ, or specifically the utricle, gets a lot of stimulus when we go forward, and then the opposite side of that utricle doesn't get much stimulus because we oftentimes don't go the other direction enough. So, with that being said, you can set your kettlebell or kettlebells down, and then we're going to go into some sequencing today. So one of our focus areas for the month of November is strategy and sequencing. So I want you to remember the joint sequence as I call it out, and then I'm going to give you the cheat sheet after a few seconds and go through it with you. So we're going to do a knee circle, an ankle circle, and then a hip circle. So if you know what those are and how to do them, go. And if you remembered, you should be doing a knee circle, and then a hip circle, and then an ankle circle. I think I got that right. No, I'm second guessing myself. So knee, hip, and then ankle. If I got it wrong, send us a message on the app, send us an email. Say Brian needs to work on his three-part short-term memory storage. So other side, same thing. Going through the knee, few reps each direction. And the hip, you can hold on to something if you want to for the hip circles. I like to play around with a little bit of internal and external rotation in the foot. Knee, so we're kind of guiding that internal, external, getting a couple reps each way. And then the ankle. Good job. You're doing great. The first vestibular drill we're going to do is the VOR. So you need one of your pens. So finish up ankle circles here. I'm going to do these relatively quickly, about 120 beats per minute. If you need to go slower than that at first, that's okay. The gold standard in vestibular rehab is getting to 120 beats per minute. So that's where they're going to have people work or work up to in the rehab process. Sometimes they jump them right to that speed, and it might be too fast for some people. So that's why I wanted to mention. You might need to slow this down a little bit. So we're going to hold your pen up, focus on one letter, and then start with head shakes, so the no-no motion. I want you to breathe, stay tall, and that letter should be able to stay in focus. And then we're going to go up to down, the yes, yes. Remember to breathe. Now we're going to do diagonals. So these oftentimes get left out in vestibular rehab. Don't know why, because they're important, but we're going to do a diagonal motion. So I'm going up to my right, down to my left, thinking about my nose or my chin traveling on that line. A lot of times as we do these diagonals, people will start to look like this. So they will head tilt, thinking that they're coming through a diagonal. It's not really truly a diagonal anymore, so try to keep your head coming through the neutral posture position in the middle, and then up to one side, down to the other with the nose. If we went one way, we're going to do the opposite diagonal. You guessed it, so here we go. Good job. Keeping that letter in focus, breathing. These tend to be energizing for me, so I like to incorporate them in my warm-up. And then we're going to go into a side flow. So those are the VORs. That's the first vestibular drill. Stands for vestibulo-ocular reflex. The side flow, we're pushing off the instep of the foot. You could step with these, or you can pick up the intensity a little bit if it's pain-free and you're feeling good about increasing the speed. Obviously, increasing speed is going to increase the load, increase the intensity. So the positives, if it is pain-free here, we're getting your brain used to that speed, can help with threat reduction if we practice that over time. Great vestibular stimulus again, and that increased loading, or a little bit of impact is another word for it, is going to create a positive adaptation of increasing bone density and tissue resiliency, so tendons, ligaments, muscles. We want to do that in a safe, progressive manner though, so if you're stepping right now, absolutely fine. And so that's the side flow, back and forth a few times. Now we're going to go into a kettlebell rack carry. So again, if you have one kettlebell, clean that up to the shoulder. If you have two kettlebells, we're going to hinge the hips back, establish some bracing in the abdomen, so meaning tighten the abs. We're going to hike the bells, bring the hips through to accelerate the bells up to the shoulder or the rack position. So again, you're going to walk forward and back. This rack carry is fantastic for your shoulders, your upper back, thoracic spine, really good for posture. Feel some glute activation too, so working the hips a little bit as well. Let's go forward and back about 20 seconds. Good job, you guys. And brace again, abs braced. Again, we can go ahead and set down. Nice job. We're going to next go into an upper body sequence. So again, I'm going to give you 3 movements, 3 joints. So let's go shoulder, wrist, elbow. You're going to shoulder circle, wrist circle, and then elbow circle. And if you've done these with us and you know what they are, go ahead and go. If you don't, I'm going to start giving you the cheat sheet again. So shoulder circle, reverse direction. You can do these in different positions, so we can go overhead, shoulder circle. Awesome job. And reverse direction, and then wrist circle. So we're bringing the wrist around the fist, wrist around fist, and those knuckles stay in approximately the same spot, circling the wrist around. And then let's go into an elbow circle. So we're going to bring the hand around, palm up, palm down, palm up, palm down. As you straighten the arm, we're rolling that forearm, and then go the other direction. Good job. Whew. So we got shoulders, wrists, elbows, and we got another side to do. So here we go. Staying tall, lengthen into these. You could be in lunge positions for these if you want to make it more fun for the lower body, or you want more work for the lower body. Let's go to that wrist circle. So again, wrist around the fist. If you had a watch, you're moving that watch face up and around in a circular fashion. Hopefully the knuckles are staying ballpark in the same location. Nice job. Elbow circles, so palm up, palm down, palm up, palm down. As you roll through that straight arm in the elbow circle, let's reverse it. Good job. You could switch your lunge if you want to. Whew, good. So heart rate's coming up, starting to feel a little bit warm here. And now we're going to go to VORC, so the next vestibular drill. You can grab your pen, pencil, hopefully it's got letters on it, and we're going to go into VORCs. These could also be progressed to lunge positions and eventually to walking. For today, I'm going to have you hold still. The VORC, we're now moving your target. So instead of holding the target still in front of you, we're going to move your target while you move your head in different directions. So let's start going to the right or your left if you're mirroring me. And I'm moving the arm and the head, keeping my trunk stable. So don't want any movement through the trunk, through the hips. We're stabilizing there for now. Go to the other side. That target should be staying clear. Again, if this is too fast, feel like you're on a ride at Valley Fair or Cedar Point, whatever amusement park you go to, and you need to slow it down, please do. And then eventually over time, we would want to progress to a speed like that. Head up and down. Let's combine these. So we're going up to down, VORC. This is basically that VOR, vestibulo-ocular reflex. The C stands for cancel. So we're canceling the reflex. Now the eyes just look forward, and the neck, the vestibular system are doing a lot of the work to stabilize on the target. From there, we're going to go into diagonals. So with one hand, we're going to do one diagonal. Good job, way to breathe. You could also go into, haven't done these in a while, single leg stance on these. So good to make a mental note, come back to this. Progression would be going to like a single leg and then walking with these. For today, let's stay on 2 legs, good job. And switched hands when we went to that opposite diagonal. Hopefully you picked up on that. All right, from there we're going line hops and then a kettlebell arm bar. So I'm gonna walk you through those. The line hops, we're gonna pick a line on the floor, stand to the side of it, and then we're going to hop or step. So if you're comfortable with stepping, really good. If you're comfortable with hopping, we're gonna use the arms a little bit and go side to side. Now if you go 10 seconds laterally, about 10, 2, 1, and then we'll go front to back. Again, you could step forward, step back if you're comfortable with that. And if you're okay, pain-free with a little bit of impact, then we can go forward to back. Great job. A little bit of bracing in the abs. Forward to back for 10 seconds. These will get your heart rate up quick. So great to throw into the warm-up. And great for building the Achilles tendon strength, building strength and stability in the ankle. From there, we're going to the kettlebell arm bar. Woo. So you need your kettlebell. Need a spot where you can move a little bit on the floor. Some open space. We're gonna roll laterally here a little bit, so you'll need some bandwidth going to the side. So I'm gonna hold with both hands and pick up my kettlebell and press it up. So this is looking like the start position of a Turkish get-up. This is key. We want the opposite hand or the free arm to go overhead. So I'm reaching overhead, and then I'm going to roll away from the camera, swing my kettlebell side leg over the other leg. So hopefully you can see that pivot. I'm going to show you on the other side. You guys can stay on that first side if you got it. Otherwise, I'm going to try to give you a better angle here. So head can go to the arm that's reached overhead. Kettlebell stays directly above the shoulder. Make sure that that's stable and right over the shoulder. Kettlebell side leg pivots over the body. So we're swinging that kettlebell side leg over the other leg. And then from here, I can work on rotating a little bit at the shoulder. So keeping the elbow locked, that's where the term arm bar comes from. We want the arm to stay as if it were a bar. And getting some rotation in that shoulder joint, glenohumeral joint. I'm going to slowly come back across with my leg and go back to my back, hold with both hands, bring the kettlebell down safely, and spend about 10-20 seconds on each side with those. Fantastic warm-up for the shoulders, for the thoracic spine. We're getting some nice rotation in there. And speaking of the spine, that's where we're going next. And guess what? We're going to sequence it. So what I want you to do is go to your cervical spine or the neck. You're going to do a lumbar spine movement, low back, and you're going to connect the two in the middle, thoracics. So if you know what those are, some of our spinal mobility movements, go ahead and go. And if you don't, I'm going to give you the cheat sheet here in just a second. So I'm going to start with some rotations in the neck. So that's my first movement. I'm going to just go through some forward back bend through the lumbar spine. Sometimes touching the area that you want to move can be good, just giving yourself some sensory information about that area as or right before you move it. So lumbar, and then last one, it's kind of that mid-back area between the shoulder blades, the biggest segment of the spinal column, the thoracic. So I'm going forward, back, flexion, extension with thoracic for now. And then let's hit one more sequence so we have different spinal movements that we can do. I'm going to go into back to the cervical, so chicken exercise or anterior posterior gliding. In the low back, I'm going to go to lumbar circles. I'm going to bend to the side, relax the shoulders, roll through the front, relax the shoulders up the other side, nice and tall. Go back the other way. So this is the front circle. Also going to do a back circle. So we're going to go across to the side, lean back. Like to go eyes up in that case, back to the other side and up tall. Side bend, back bend, looking up and back. Other side bend, and then back up tall. You do the same pain for your range of motion for you. If one of those felt better than the other, going forward versus back, I'm going to give you a couple seconds to do one more repetition of whichever one felt the best to you. And then this next part is where you need 2 pens or pencils. So we're going to start some of the vision work. Specifically working on some of those eye movements. So for some people, getting into a wide base feels comfortable. It can feel a little bit safer and more stable. So if that's you, go ahead and go out to a wide stance like this. For me, been doing these drills for a while, so I'm going to settle into a side lunge. Just going to kind of keep the legs active while I do the vision work. So hold your 2 pencils up to the right and to the left of one another at about eyes height. And we're going to jump the eyes back and forth right to left 10 times. So find your target on the right, target on the left. You're looking at a specific letter, making sure your eyes can refocus. And then we're going to go diagonals. So up to the left, down to the right, or up to the right, down to the left. Good. I'm going to switch my lunge, go to the other diagonal. And again, 10 target jumps or eye switches. Keep breathing through these. Good. Head should be fairly stable. I might be moving mine a little bit. If so, I should stabilize a little bit more. Now we're going to go up to down, and then we're going to do a quick visual reset to give the eyes a break. So 10 reps, up to down. Go as quick as you can, as long as you're refocusing on that specific letter. Great job. And we've got all of those. Those are called saccades, or target jumps for layman's. Saccades or saccades is the neurology term. Then let's go into a little bit of eye massage. So you can close your eyes, relax and breathe. And I'm just kind of drawing a circle, not on the eyeball itself, but around where those extraocular muscles attach in that orbit of the skull around the eyeball. So just gentle pressure, trying to bring in some blood flow, give your eyes a quick break, and then we're going to go to the next series. These are pursuits, so they're called smooth pursuits, technically in functional neuro. So you want to make sure that your eyes are tracking the target and you're moving the target fairly smoothly. I'm going to go into a forward lunge. You guys can stay in a neutral stance or that wide stance if you want to for this one. Pursuits, we're going to start going up to down and go at a speed where you can keep that letter in focus. Make sure you're staying tall, breathing, keeping your head still. That's vertical. Let's go lateral. Horizontal. Good job. Keep breathing through it. Again, we're kind of shotgunning our way through this, but doing a comprehensive training of some eye movements for the visual system. So technically, if we broke this down, you could test and retest like strength, range of motion, balance, something that really matters to you, a squat, a functional movement you want to get better at, reaching up into the cupboard. You could test and retest that after every single one of these individual movements, and that's where more kind of in-depth or thorough assessment would come in. And then we're going to go diagonals. Again, go at a pace or a speed you can keep the target clear. We'll switch my lunge position and then finish up on the other diagonal. Remember to breathe. These are also fantastic exercises to stack with some of the other cranial nerve activations that some of you have been learning. So if you have a bite position or a tongue position or a head position that works really well for you, you can do your exercise, biting, tongue position, with that pursuit that tested well for you. So that was our pursuits. Guys, I hope you're warmed up. I'm prepped and ready to go, and we're going to get into the conditioning. So you need one kettlebell. We're going to start with kettlebell snatches. What I want you to do here is we're going to go through 10 repetitions on each side. We're going to recover fast, and then we're going to do a second round, 10 repetitions on the other side. So this should challenge your stamina. The goal of fast recovery is to regain control of your breath, calm it down, try to get to a normal breathing tempo as fast as you possibly can, and then we're going to go into that second set. So here we go. First set of snatches, we're going to set up heels connected to the floor, hike into the hips, zip that kettlebell up the front of the body, and we're going to 10. You got this. Two more. Here we go. Good hip drive. You can set down for just a second. We're going to pick right back up with that other hand where we left off. 10 reps on the other side. Here we go. If that overhead position is tough, you can clean the bell. So you can come up to the rack at the shoulder and work on cleans instead. If your shoulders are great, we're going to keep going overhead. 10 and 10. Woo! There you go. Here we go. So, quick recovery. Just working on regaining control of that breath. So the sooner that we can get to a full inhale and a slow exhale. It's actually a correlation between breath control and your heart rate. So if you can regain control of your breathing more quickly, we'll see the heart rate go from that spike with intense exercise and actually scale back down faster. So you'll regain better control of the heart rate with better breath control. All right, we're ready, I hope. Ready or not, you start when you're ready, but we're gonna do 10 right, 10 left again on the snatches. This is the second and last round. Here we go. So hip drive, accelerate that weight up. Here we go, 2 more. Good job, guys. You can go right into that second side or sit down in transition. Good. All right, quick respiratory breathing hack that works well for some people. It's almost like purposeful hyperventilation. So I'll warn you, if you need to sit down for this. But we're going to take fast, quick breaths in and out on a 1-to-1 ratio. This can help you recover faster. So in 1, out 1. And a lot of times that'll help calm things down. Tends to help me prep for the next movement a little bit quicker. We're back to controlled breathing now. You do want to make sure when you're doing that in 1, out 1, if you find success with that, that you're not congested, you're getting enough air in, just as much in as you're breathing out. And then we're going to go to a TGU. So this could be body weight, could be with a kettlebell. It's up to you. We're going to go ahead, pick that kettlebell up safely, press it, lock the arm out, get into that arm bar position. The free hand now goes down to your side. We're going to flatten the low back into the floor, brace the abs, and then shift up to your elbow. Then up to your hand over here, so hand is down on the floor, nice and stable. We're going to bridge up, sweep the leg underneath. So that free leg comes under, push off the floor, we're to half kneeling, and we're gonna finish that get up at the top and then come back down for the second half. So back down, hand down, sweep the leg through, so that leg is straight, hip can come down. We're down to the elbow on the free hand side, on the floor side, and then we're rolling all the way back down gently, and then let's switch sides. Good job. We're gonna go 1-1 on these, so one right, one left, and then rest, recover the breath, and do a second round here as well. So up to the elbow, keep that elbow locked on the top arm, sweep the leg, push off the floor, stand it up, engage the hips at the top, squeeze the glutes. Then we're coming back down to the bridge position, shoulders are stable, sweep the leg, hips come down, elbow down, and shoulder down. And then quick recovery. You guys are doing awesome. This workout's meant to challenge your stamina a little bit. So we're going to do 3 kettlebell movements, 2 bodyweight movements. And that's why we're only going through a couple cycles of each. And so, moving into the next round of get ups. Once you've recovered, here we go. We're going one right, one left again. Up to the elbow, to the hand. Good solid bridge. Push that heel into the floor, and then as you stand up, front heel drives into the floor as well. Coming on back down, guys. Way to go. Woo! Way to get stronger today. Way to get more resilient today. Way to get a little tougher today. And other side. Here we go. All right. So, abs braced up to the elbow, up to the hand on the bottom side. Push that floor away. Up to the knee. We got heel drive here. And go. Nice job. Awesome. Good. Sweep the leg, stable shoulders and upper back. Elbow down and all the way down. Nice job. Good. Quick recovery. We're going to do a vision reset here. We're incorporating another vision drill for you. And so this one's a vision circle. So this one, I'm just going to touch my chin so that I know I'm keeping my head still. And I'm going to make a big circle in space with the pen or pencil. So as you recover your breath, keeping the head stable, try to make a full range of motion with those eyes. If you are wearing glasses, this is a good one to take them off for. And even if that means using a larger target, like a tennis ball with a letter on it, because those glasses will create a block where the eyes don't really want to go above or below or to the sides of your lenses, because that's where you have the clarity or acuity that's been corrected for, right? So vision circle, another great exercise that can help hydrate the eyeballs as well. And then we're going to get into the kettlebell swing. So swings to shoulder height, you need 1 kettlebell. We're going to go just like the snatches, 10 and 10. So 10 on that right side, 10 on the left side. Ready, go, ready, set. And here we go. We're going to hike, hips accelerate that weight. Your hips and knees should be pretty straight at the top, tall at the top. So I'm bringing my chest up, my sternum up, and my hips forward. Good. I think that's 10. Ballpark, here we go. Other side. You got this, guys. Way to breathe. Woo. Way to get after it. Awesome. Good. Quick recovery again. This one's starting to become sweat towel worthy. Woo. And once you're recovered, feel like you've regained control of that breath, let's go ahead and go back to swings. 10 and 10, you got this. Last set of swings, and then we're gonna get into a couple body weight movements. So here we go. Good strong hike. Lats should engage as you hike the bell back. Abs should be on. And then buttocks muscles firing at the top to bring that weight forward and up. 7, way to breathe. To 10 and switch. Way to go, you got this. And glutes, hamstrings should be talking to you a little bit. After TGUs, swings, and snatches, good job. Woo. So setting the kettlebell aside, need a little bit of free space for lunges or squats. So we'll go squats and then lunges. We're gonna do one more vision drill. This one's a pen push-up. And pen or pencil. Fair warning, these can be fairly intense. So if you haven't done them before, I would recommend sitting down on a chair. If it's easy to just have a seat on the floor, you can have that ground contact, and then there's really nothing as far as balance to be hugely concerned about because we're already on the ground, right? So we're gonna bring the pen in and the letter on it towards the tip of the nose. You want to go as far as you can, as long as that target doesn't double. If the target doubles, A, we might have some work to do on your visual system if you want to improve it. And B, you want to stop right as it doubles or right before it doubles. So we're keeping that as a single target. If it gets a little blurry, that's okay. Just don't want the target to split or double. So that actually means both eyes are no longer looking at the same spot. And then we went to the tip of the nose. Now we're going to go up towards the forehead or bridge of the nose. Good job. Way to breathe. So what we're looking at here is function, if we were assessing together in person, function of your cranial nerve 3 for the top one and cranial nerve 4 for the bottom one. So the oculomotor nerve and then the trochlear nerve, both really important for good visual function and really function of the flexors or the muscles on the front side of the body. There's a direct correlation between that activation that we just did and getting a stronger, more controlled activation out of the flexors in the body. So pretty important when we think about the eyes and the connection to the body and the connection to movement. So we're going to go into air hunger next. So we're going to exhale, hold your breath, and then start some squats. I just want you to do as many squats as you're able to with the breath hold. When you run out of air, you already kind of have run out of air, basically don't push yourself too far because again, want to be able to focus more on the recovery here. So recover quickly. And so if you're huffing and puffing after the first round of these, we probably pushed it a little bit too far. I want you to be able to kind of control the breath right away again within a couple breaths after we finish squats. So if you think you could do 2 more, probably stop at that point and just come out of it and recover your breath. So we're gonna again exhale, hold your breath, and go into some body weight squats. And recover when you need to. So again, like 2 breaths, max 3, should have your breathing back under control. And we're gonna do another set. Whew, here we go. Air hunger is gonna help you burn more calories. It's gonna help you become more resilient, help with your gas exchanges, and that can also help spur on your metabolism. So doing air hunger every day, just doing a couple sets of these, I mean, it really takes probably 10 seconds to exhale and then do a few squats. Here we go. And again, recover. The next one we're going to move into is lunges. So air hunger with some lunging. I want you to pick side lunges or forward lunges. So whichever one really feels better to your body today, that's what I want you to do. And we'll alternate. So whether you're doing forward or you're going to the side, alternate legs, right, left, right, left. And again, we're going to incorporate some air hunger. So strong finish here, you guys, you got this. Breathe out, hold the breath, and go. Whew, that's all I got. Whew. All right, so 3 recovery breaths. And I was gonna go for another lunge and I was like, nope, you're kidding yourself. So I kind of got to know with air hunger where that sweet spot is, where we're not pushing it too much, we're not doing like nothing in a sense. We're just challenging yourself a little bit so that you can save it for the next round. So here we go. Exhale, hold, and go. And recover. Woo. Good job today, you guys. You can give yourself a hand. You can air high five me. Woo. You can air high five or high five a family member if you got somebody working out with you. Let's go into a few nerve glides. So wrist extended, fingers extended, elbows straight. Just a gentle side to side motion here as we cool it down. Give the nerves some sweet, gentle stimulus, nothing too crazy. Go ahead and extend the wrist, extend the elbows, pull the arms up and out to the side with the elbows. Elbows are bent, wrists are extended back towards the ears. Again, gentle side to side head motion. Looking for about a 3 out of 10 intensity on these. Sorry if you've heard me say that 100 times. If you're fairly new, no apologies. Go thumb across the palm. We're going to flex the wrist, extend the elbows straight. It is important, to go gentle 3 out of 10 because we don't want to overstretch the nerves. Back and forth, side to side. And relax out of that. Let's move to the lower body. So we got the upper body nerve glides. Go 1 foot forward. We're going to keep the heel down, pull the toes up. Try pivoting that foot in. So scoop in where the big toe is up towards your shoulder, the pinky toe is down towards the floor. You can spinal slump or relax into this through the low back and come in and out of that. Again, 3 out of 10 intensity, remember, and gentle with that. So we're going to swivel the foot the other way. Now the pinky toe can be up as far as you're able, big toes down, and then we'll go back into this one. That first one highlighted the sural nerve on the outside of the lower leg. This one's highlighting more of the tibial nerve on the inside of the lower leg. And let's ease out of that. Other side, same thing. So heel down, toes up. Big toe pulled up towards you. You can go into a little bit of rotation, a little bit of forward bending or spinal slump. Again, at the bottom, the intensity should still be relatively light. We want healthy stimulus for those nerves. There's a connection, remember, between your nerves, peripheral nerves, and your bones. So the outer layer of bone, periosteum, actually gets innervation from the peripheral nerves, meaning when we improve and keep your peripheral nerves healthy, you're actually potentially improving your bone density. Because if your brain doesn't know, due to innervation or loss of innervation, where to send those nutrients or where a certain part of that bone is located, it can lose that connection. So part of what sends calcium, nutrients, all those things that your GP is going to recommend you take if you have loss of bone density, the way that those nutrients get into the bone where they need to get to is through the health of the peripheral nerves. So do your nerve glides. Hope you guys had fun moving with you, and we'll see you in the next video.